Do you want to be a pirate or a ride operator?
I want to be a ride operator.
I can see you doing more Haunted Mansion.
No, I actually think I'd be great at Jungle Cruise. I could do all this.
You could definitely do Jungle Cruise.
All the bad puns.
That'd be great.
The backside of water.
That's all time.
In the end, you got the point. Recording.
Good times.
Oh,
sorry.
Good.
Jordan's hosting.
Welcome to another episode of 716th Legion
Didn't
Reacts.
say hello there?
That's fine.
Cancel him. Get out
Cancel
of here.
him. Okay, Jordan,
Scratch that.
continue.
Scratch that. Sorry. It's been a while, guys. Hello there. And welcome. Really?
Continue.
Hello there. And welcome to another episode of 716th Legion Reacts. I'm Jordan. I'm joined by Christian, Jack, and Julia.
That's me.
The great ensemble that we are.
Yes.
Before I go on my little rant, we just wanted to take a second and
me this week.
thank all you guys for sending us feedbacks and theories. The first person that did that was Shammy. That was on YouTube.
It was on Instagram.
Instagram, sorry.
Reached out to our Instagram page and we discussed a cool theory.
A cool theory. And the theory, Jack, do you want me to talk to it or do you want to talk to it?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. The theory is that Keimer is Vernestra's Padawan, and that the wounds on his back are lightsaber whip wounds.
Absolutely.
I did see something.
After rewatching the episode, I totally agree. Like, it looks like he was whipped. Totally. That would be wild.
Do you think it was pre him falling, or do you think that was like an attack on him after he had like turned against the Jedi?
Maybe it was like a Luke and Kylo Ren thing. Like, she saw it coming and tried to beat it off on him. It didn't work.
It is weird because she's like,
Going right through the video cameras anyway.
Rich makes 2 appearances in this video.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna like.
I gotta put the James Bond music over that. Down,
Oh, Lord.
I think I broke my elbow.
it is weird because like, if Venestra hasn't exactly been like a full character in this show as of yet, I would say. Like, she's been around, but she has like 3 scenes. Like, she's like the most episodes she's in is the most is last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that like alluded to anything of that sort as of yet, so it would come out of a bit of nowhere. Again, scar consistency, it is kind of like a whip-shaped like scar, as you can see.
I feel like
It looked like a lightning bolt to me.
Wouldn't it just go through?
Not necessarily.
She's like, I don't know how.
yeah, I mean the way
Well,
the way that she split that bug would lead me to believe that it would do that. But also, like,
I don't know.
we've never seen a light whip before, obviously, other than like comics and stuff. So if they do like say, "Oh, she was so precise that she burned them," I will be okay with it.
Plus,
you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be mad.
lightsabers don't always cut through things. Like Count Dooku just like singed Obi-Wan's leg in episode 2.
That's right.
On
He did
purpose.
And Finn.
No, I'm saying he did that on purpose.
Oh well, yeah.
I'm saying he like if he like he wanted. It's not like he tried. To
Oh,
cut
and
through
yeah.
his
Oh,
leg,
and
he saved
in
it.
episode 7, Kylo Ren does that with Finn's back.
Or Obi-Wan like hits a bunch of stormtroopers like they're like with like a baseball bat lightsaber, like in Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah,
which is, like,
that's
the most,
true, too.
That actually is the most nonsensical like piece of lightsaber choreography in the entire franchise.
We
I love
digress.
the
But
Obi-Wan
we digress.
Anyways,
Anyways,
that would be cool.
but thank you, Shammy, for sending the theory to us. We greatly appreciate it, as well as everybody else who sent us the theories that were very similar, talking about the light whip scars on Keimer's back.
Alleged whip scars.
Alleged, until proven otherwise, that we're going to assume that they were.
I think they are.
Now, in my little rant, I'm going to preface this by saying I do not speak for the council. I speak for myself.
Uh-oh, Jordan's gonna say some weird stuff.
We'll see
So
where this goes.
I've been told I don't talk a lot, so I want to make sure that I'm kind of voicing some of my opinions here. If you don't like Star Wars content, and you don't agree with what we're doing or how we're reacting, don't watch us. We'll get along fine without you. You do not need to come in our comments and attack verbally members of our panel with your hate. It is not acceptable, and I personally don't like it.
Yeah, no, don't, if you're gonna, I'll just speak to this and then we should move on, because this is I don't want to stick on this forever. Don't come into our comments and use bigoted language or things like that. If you're gonna do that, we'll remove you no matter who you are.
Yeah, 100%. You're not staying here.
And we've had to do that a couple times. So if you come in the comments and you use racial slurs and slurs against sexualities and ethnicities, things like that, any hate speech, anything like that, like you'll be blocked immediately.
This isn't a community for troglodytes.
Like, come on, guys, this is Star Wars, so that's all we should say to it. Let's watch the episode. But yes, please don't spread hate speech in our comments.
It's not the Jedi way.
Yeah, seriously.
You can be mean to me without hate speech. I won't read it anyway.
Yeah, we'll take the criticism.
Like, yeah, you can like I don't like it's fine. Like you're wasting more of your own time than like anyone else.
We'll take the criticisms, but if you're gonna spread hate speech, also to other commenters and other people watching, just don't. Just don't. It ain't worth it. You're not gonna win this fight.
Also,
bro.
the show has good viewership. Eat shit.
Yeah. All right. So let's as soon as Rich comes back, we'll
start.
It's
better viewership than other Star Wars show. It does. Like it came out the last few weeks. So.
All right, here we go.
I can't wait for Skeleton Crew.
Episode 7.
I don't know how confident I am now.
War.
Foreboding music.
Ooh, Brenda.
Back on Brenda.
16 years earlier. Fuck.
Ooh. See a metal detector back there.
I wonder if they're like the science team.
Yes, this plant has the force.
It's sentient.
You must eat, Padawan.
I'm not hungry.
Shut up.
I'm just sick of eating tuna legs. And I want to go home to Coruscant.
We're on a mission.
So there's some plants here. Big deal.
Calm yourself, Padawan. Do not center around your anxieties.
Yeah, dummy.
We are looking for a virgins.
What's the versions?
A virgins could create life, like what we see on this planet. Nothing could be more important to the Jedi. This is a noble mission.
Cooking a pork.
Was he really?
No.
Whoa, speeders. Sick.
It's like
that's
the
a
opposite.
prequel.
Yeah.
That's so great. They did a pretty good job making him look a lot younger.
Yeah, he does look younger.
The Force trade.
Maisel, 4th Street.
It's like the weakest willow.
When I can't find you,
Poe Dameron's Force tree.
I'm here. Why do you always have to do things like that? Hello.
Young Osha was the sassiest little girl.
So this is not May's perspective, Jedi's perspective.
He's gonna shoot it with the blaster and it's gonna open.
We don't know.
No, he just rang the doorbell.
Do we even know if all of these women are like?
I don't think they're all.
Like,
Force.
do
He
we
just
know
scaled
that,
the
I
wall?
don't think we know if they're
Holy
all
fuck.
Force users or not.
He's scaling the wall.
We don't.
Like I think we've only seen the one bomb use anything.
No, we saw 2 other women.
Oh, there was a couple other
training.
training. That's right. We didn't see Coral do it.
Oh, he snuck instantly.
Hey, look,
He
there's
was
railings.
there? That is awesome. Oh, that was the sound they all heard. Obviously.
Yeah, and if they're like, if this is like Night Sister,
A force cult.
not all Night Sisters technically have like.
We do not have all the information. Besides, Night Sisters don't raise younglings, let alone train them.
They do not treat the girls like children.
We should return to the ship, ask the council for guidance.
The witches prepare for a ceremony tonight.
Oh, soul. Such a kind soul.
I know you would defer to the council, but I insist. See what I have seen.
She looks younger too.
I mean, they obviously focused, except
They're gonna break in.
for everyone but Soul, they obviously focused on their past look being
not
their like
platform
main. Because
elevator.
the other kid like
It's supposed to be
aged
an
up,
old mining
didn't
site.
look- Like they played it more. They cared more about his age was accurate here.
Yeah.
I'm going in alone.
We should go as a team.
Fine. But we must be vigilant.
Actually, this is back to Majority. Do Night Sisters have Force sense
Maybe
in the
magic.
same way as like Jedi and Sith?
I don't
I don't
They
think
have
they
magic.
do.
They have magic, but they
I'm sure they have something similar, but it's not like they don't have like one for one like Force abilities.
They're just walking up there like the fucking cops,
and it's
man.
not.
Forgive our intrusion. We thought this planet was uninhabited.
The all-knowing Jedi were ignorant of their surroundings. I find that hard to believe.
Here we go.
Oh shit.
Torben, son of paupers from the planet Bonadon.
Paupers? He's from Bonadam?
That's what they said.
Do you wish to escape this planet?
Do you wish to escape this
Do you wish to escape this planet? I can help you. I can help you. I can help you.
What if you just stand there like that the entire scene? And go back to it?
I would not keep you from what you want.
This is great.
She's talking to him like Kymer does to May.
Why not
Or
ask me?
Osha.
I want to return to Coruscant.
Kneel.
Ooh.
This is not when his eyes are black.
On.
If you want your Padawan returned to his right mind, I suggest you all leave. Now.
Mama, I want to show them what you taught me. Please let me take the test.
Mother Anastasia, you cannot deny that Jedi have the right to test potential
I
Padawans.
think I can.
With your permission, of course.
They would
Ooh, okay. Now we get to see what. Did she like scold him?
I feel a connection to Osha.
Testing the twins is not something we can take seriously. Osha's too old to join the order.
I feel she's meant to be my Padawan. I worry she's not safe. And who is protecting this child if not the Jedi?
Do not confuse what Osha wants with what you want.
Very interesting.
What?
So they did something to Torben.
Something
They did
happened.
something. They did something to Torben. But there's also some weird soul shit going on, like immaturity.
He's
almost.
just getting his like attachments in the way, but this guy is fucked up.
Tell us what you see.
A spaceship, a castle,
Cat.
That is a love.
Gong droid.
Gong
a
droid.
planet,
Hey guys, we passed.
a necklace.
The image hasn't appeared yet.
Can I go back to my family now?
Last night before we entered, what was everyone doing in the courtyard?
Ascension.
Is your marking a part of Ascension?
Mama says Ascension means Osha and I will lead the coven. Everyone must walk through fear. Everyone must be sacrificed to fulfill their destiny.
Interesting.
Thank you for explaining that to me.
Can I go now?
May was instructed to fail. With your permission, I would like to try a different approach with the other child.
You may.
To say what you want.
He looks like he's gonna fucking kill somebody.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Hmm.
There's like some interesting like attention going on underneath this entire episode.
Blood samples.
You really don't know
The council said no.
what the council's like at this point.
They will not sanction bringing the twins to Coruscant or separating them from their coven.
You can feel the twins are not safe.
They say that we have interfered too much already.
They let us come home at least.
Do not alter this little girl's
Dude,
destiny.
he-
Well, we said
You
wait
have
for the
formed
wait.
an emotional attachment to her.
That is not what's happening here. I want to do what's best for Osha.
You don't get to decide that.
It's the twins' blood test results.
Through the roof.
The M count is very high. Extremely high. Their symbionts are the same.
They are twins.
No, exactly the same. Even identical twins would have different symbionts. This is impossible without some kind of manipulation.
The twins were artificially created.
Maybe by tapping into a power dense enough to split one consciousness into two bodies?
The type of power.
What the fuck?
Go! Don't you see? We just need proof of a virgins, and those girls are the proof. This is our ticket home.
Corbin is the one.
Stop him!
Oh shit.
God.
And for him, he's like, I want to go home so bad.
Take a walk
That's
through
because
the world.
he's like buying into like the lie.
Torben definitely fucks this up.
Oh, 100%.
Let's see what happens, guys.
You cannot allow Osha to go. She has chosen it. It's what she wants.
You would sacrifice our future for the wish of a child.
My children.
You may be their mother, but you are also our leader.
Tough position.
Right now, I choose mother.
Thank you. Let's go.
I think they've locked the girls inside.
We have a rift in the Council of Witches.
Yeah.
I think there's a rift in the Jedi and a rift in the
Absolutely.
Follow me.
Going up the wall.
Again.
You cannot let them in your head again. Do you understand? Okay. Okay? Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Great.
Uh-huh.
See, now this makes sense why he was there so quickly.
What is happening?
The Jedi have breached the fortress again.
I told you we cannot use violence.
And I told you I would die before I let the Jedi take my children.
She didn't mean to do that. Yeah, she's a child. Well, in the last episode, it looked like she meant to do it. That fire, I think that's real fire.
Crap. Even like the way it's interacting. Like the...
Yeah. It's coming out.
Take another
like,
step and it will be your last.
We come with noble intentions.
You wish to know if we will allow Osha to join you.
Where did they come from? How were they created?
He's like, not in my head.
Someday, those noble intentions you all have will destroy every Jedi.
Oh, shit. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, basically.
Don't.
Ooh.
Don't.
Mama, help!
Osha!
Man,
Help me!
they're identical.
We're supposed to be identical.
Don't. Fuck.
What the
That's
fuck?
That's Mother Talzin.
She was about to absorb man.
I don't know.
That's how it looks.
It definitely looked like
Yeah, it looked like she was gonna kill her.
I was going to let Osha go.
Oh.
It's what she wants. It's what she wants.
Oh, it was an accident.
No, I think
Well, no, it
more
wasn't
of
an
a-
accident, but like,
More misinterpretation of what was going on.
yeah.
All right.
Let's fucking go. You don't even need a lightsaber. He's so cool!
I wish I could do that.
I can't.
So can I.
Go. She does the same fucking thing.
That is wild.
So this is Harry Potter now, and they're just gonna apparate?
Okay, but
Another
Marin could do that.
Yeah.
Well, America could do that.
But they're
Should not have brought him
They
here.
don't know.
My mind is fortified.
Not you.
Oh my god!
Green!
Yeah,
Oh, they're all controlling.
Power of many. You see the Twi'lek on the edge there?
Oh! See, that's what I'm saying.
saying.
In the show.
Let's go.
Oh!
Sick! Oh my god!
That is awesome!
Look at his face though. That's where those scars came from.
not the big one.
Oh my god. Damn. He got his ass beat. That's where the scars came from. Oh my god, this is sick.
Oh my god! That is so cool!
Disarming.
Say, now you're fucking. Now you're just gonna have
This
this
fighting
fisticuffs,
almost-
baby.
Oh my god! Oh!
Wow, the car is strong.
That's how they all
Oh,
die.
oh my god.
And this is why
That's
we don't see
how they
Coral though, because
died?
Coral had to be
Wait, your core might be alive.
Get the
Or might.
through him though.
Oh shit. I don't remember him let her
I
drop.
don't remember that either.
He's gonna let her drop.
So it's not outright anyone had like necessarily nefarious intentions outright, but multiple people actually had to make and nearly all of them.
I warned you not to interfere,
I warned both of you.
I wanted the twins to be safe.
with no thought of the consequences.
They had to make a choice.
What will we tell the council?
We will tell the council the truth.
They burned down the witch's fortress, and everyone was lost.
Weapons alive.
You're okay, Ocean.
Where am I?
I want to know how May survived. Sure, we're gonna find out.
What happened?
People survived fall. There's no fall damage. Just ask Mace Windu. Yep, I mean he's dealing with blood. I mean he was more because he got electrocuted.
Anyone conscious can survive.
Sorry,
I love how they're literally going.
Please don't end it there.
You
motherfucker. Yeah, I love how they're just doing like it's true from a certain point of view. It's like
That's how the Jedi
That's
always
bull-
are.
okay.
They're just leading.
That's
into that.
bullshit. How they ended it, because there's only one episode left. You don't get to see how May survives, and then what?
I don't give a fuck how May survives. She's alive. Multiple Star Wars characters have survived worse. I'm not going to sit here and nitpick things that have happened repeatedly in other Star Wars media, but only apply the criticism.
No,
of this
listen. This is why I'm saying it, because again, we don't see Coral's body after all that happened. We understand that she possessed Kalnaka.
Yeah, I guess
like,
Coral
I get
is
it.
still. I guess Coral is still.
Coral's
Whoever
still
was
a
talking about that was
factor.
right, actually. So. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Coral could have.
Can we get that playback, please?
I guess Coral could be like.
It's a possibility.
I guess,
Well, here's
I
what I'm
don't know,
saying.
it's weird, though.
We know that she possessed Kalnaka. So
what episode though? Isn't it?
Yeah.
There's one episode left. No body. Does she get lost in the Force? Does she that kind of situation play out, or does it not matter? We don't see Vernestra. We don't see what's going on with Kymer. I wanted to see that. Unless we're getting a 2-hour finale, there's not enough time to really explore everything.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, but again, like you would like it was very expected. Like they hadn't showed a single flashback within an episode, like at any other time throughout this show. So the style guide would have.
I'm very.
This episode would have like they have 2 entire flashback episodes. They went against that concept. Again, I'm like
very happy with this.
Again, I actually really like this episode, and this episode had a lot more time to breathe than a lot of the previous episodes that I think have like far too brief of run times.
I know what everybody's gonna say. They showed us what we already know.
Which is completely false.
They're not Night Sisters. At least that's not confirmed. They said, "Are they Night Sisters?" But it was never.
I think they said the word Night Sister, but like I think Night Sister just kind of now is referring to multiple.
In the first flashback episode, they said that they were banished from somewhere. So like you can connect the puzzle pieces enough to say that at one point they could have been Night Sisters, but they broke up.
I mean, I think I literally think
the weapon choices are very similar.
I literally think the reason they did the weird other Night Sister like covenant that we met for like the one short during Tales of the
Tales of the
Empire. I'm pretty sure they introduced that for the sole purpose of introducing the idea that there are multiple sects because it was coming in this show. They do that with like the animated stuff quite a bit, where they introduce something with the purpose that they know it's going to help flesh out or make it like a smoother road to introducing a different concept. So so these are like I imagine, because again, those witches had slightly different, like more like light based.
Yeah, they were
like a blue like magic. These ones have like black, and then obviously the usual Night Sisters have green. So there's almost like color coded
different clans.
Like magic
one thing that I was
styles.
very surprised to see in this episode is that the High Council was like, nah, just kind of let them be. Like they're doing their own thing. They don't really care. Like, and that's not something that I usually expect from Jedi. Like, I very much thought at the end of episode 3 that the Jedi were instructed to take down the base. So it was very surprising to me that the Jedi were actually like, it's okay if other people are using the Force, like, don't disrupt their ecosystem. That needs to remain.
Yeah, that is unorthodox. I think that
yeah, it's not an overly.
It's definitely a Legends approach.
Which is weird because I think they were almost approaching because they almost approached it differently where they were almost like Soul almost had like this weird, like, to me has this weird subtle thing going on where it's almost like that he thinks of like the Jedi are like you should have
the
like,
saviors
are like this like a pinnacle of the Force type thing.
Yeah.
Which like the Jedi are like unironically like when we say that there's like the good and the bad, like Jedi are literally like the good side of the equation. Like if you look at the lore and everything like that, like it's not like subjective. Like oh maybe it's like no like the actual like affiliation of being like on the light, like being a Jedi is like a positive.
Yeah.
They obviously it gets like weird when we get to the prequels and becomes more.
I wasn't
what
a
the
fan of this
institution
episode.
is versus.
Really?
Why not?
I'm just
I mean, yeah. I mean, like
I like the fight sequence that we got with Kelnaka and Torben and Soul, but just like overall, I don't know. I felt like if they would have made the flashback episode a little bit longer with how they, I understand why it's structured the way that it is.
I mean,
feel like
I like this show quite a bit content wise. I do have issues with the structure. I don't think the pacing of this show is particularly well thought out.
If you would have taken,
I disagree.
If you would have taken
That's
that
just
a lot.
That's just my opinion.
I mean,
And
this is not
the balance,
to make it as clear. This is not on the creatives in my mind because this is a Disney Plus issue, because this has been an issue like across Star Wars media. Like
Yeah, but I mean,
like this is a reoccurring issue with like the length. Like for even like the biggest I would say tone difference. And these are two episodes I like. I like episodes 4 and 5. Like it's ridiculous that we got like cut off in the middle of that. Especially when if you look at any interview, you know, like Leslie Headon made it very clear. This episode was written as one episode. Like that's a thing that's been confirmed. That like episodes 4 and 5 were supposed to be one episode, and because Disney Plus won't let them do like over an hour, instead you have 2 35-minute episodes. Which guess what is a lot less satisfying. Like to a lot of people.
I loved the cliffhanger.
No, I'm sure that's fine, but just know like they're like
No, I
that is
understand.
that is one of the actual criticisms of this show that I actually feel is rather fair. Like is the
I
length
can
of
agree.
the
I can
shows
agree.
and
I can
pacing.
agree with that.
Like, I like the content,
think
I like
that-
the characters quite a bit, but like I think there's a structural issue that I don't even think is on the creative team necessarily. I think there's a weird, I don't know if I've ever seen like entire like flashback episodes.
So and
Like,
that's kind
it is
of
a
where
weird like, and I'm sure there is, but like it is like I am getting weird vibes off of them. I'm not like being taken out, but like they do kind of slow down like. Like I was actually very like it's weird. Like I wanted to see what happened here, but I was simultaneously very interested in where the last episode like left off.
Right.
Like with certain things, and I now have to kind of wait. And the same thing happened with like between 2 and 4, where like it was cool to go see the flashback stuff in like episode 3, but like I don't know how they would have been like. I don't know if it would have been better to like slowly pepper them throughout like multiple episodes instead of just putting them in one. I'm not saying I know better. Maybe that like. Maybe I'm gonna feel differently about it once I see the entire season. I don't know.
I think maybe it was done this way on purpose because we're so used to the peppering it in kind of thing. I love this episode. I thought it was great. I think that I definitely did. I do want to see what happens. I do think that the next episode will be long. The first episode of the show is 50-something minutes, I think. So I do think that the last episode will be longer. Because we are left after this episode with a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up. We need to know where Chimere comes from, because I'm sure they'll get into that.
Kind of don't want to know.
I mean, we don't need to, but I feel like they'll do it. I think find out where he comes from. We have to see a little bit of. I'm sure we have to see a little bit of May. Like, this episode almost leaves it a cliffhanger. Like, what happens when they get back to the Jedi? So, I wonder if we might get some of that stuff.
Actually, I am kind of like if more of your thought is like that, like not that necessarily the content of this episode was necessarily bad, but that there was like a lot that we like is being left.
Yeah, there is a lot of loose ends.
Because I will say, like, we haven't seen, like, May or Osha have a change of heart, so now they kind of have, if they do, like, do the swap thing that we've kind of been talking about, like, where one of them, like, who was obviously, like, dark affiliated the entire time, like, swap over, then like, there's, again, they have to do that rather quickly, then they have to, like, deal with, like, what Chimere is that is? Chimera. Like, so they're obviously going to confront them. Then there's the second Jedi party with Venestra that's also in the picture. And then it's like trying to wrap it up, like the actual scenario of like how like whatever the scenario is going to be either like covered up or lost or like whatever's going to happen. Because obviously like that still needs to happen for like a bit of consistency.
But what about the droid on the attack on the Wookiees? And also, I am exactly 74 years old.
Which is funny because the only real breach of canon is just Kathy Moody's age, which nobody cares about.
Anyway, continue.
All right. So why I don't like the episode? It had its positives, but I just see that if we could have cut so much of the crap out and put this in episode 3.
I don't think
It
it
doesn't
works.
make sense.
No. You don't have to
structurally.
explain it. You can't. These are two simultaneous. Like I understand what they're doing here. If you you can't tell both sides of the story at the same time.
I guess not. Maybe not where the story went. Like,
I think
we should have gotten a merging of the two episodes. Keep it in spot of episode 7 rather than episode 3, because you put it in there and now it's like, okay, great, we understand that they were separated, great, but if we already kind of got that gist that they were separated, we didn't need that episode there. We could have taken that, put it in with this episode, made it an hour-long episode, capped it there, trimmed a little bit of the fat with a lot of...
An hour-long episode would be like half of the series. Because that's me where
based off of
I am just like real just because before I lose my brain will forget it. There's gonna be like when this series is said and done, there's gonna be like, and Ahsoka had this issue as well where it kind of most of the 8-episode and 6-episode shows that they've done have just felt like movies that they've cut up into stuff. The only show that really doesn't like Ahsoka is
Andor's the only one that doesn't.
Andor's the only show that Star Wars Disney Plus have done that actually functions like a real show. Mandalorian kind of escapes it in the first 2 seasons because it's mostly episodic and like it doesn't. So there's no overarching story. But like they do keep doing this with Obi-Wan, with Book of Boba Fett to an extent, with now this, where they kind of have like when they have Ahsoka, when there's an overarching story, they keep doing this thing where it ends up feeling like something that was meant to be more condensed, like with a bit too long, and then like cut up into weird. Like Obi-Wan's the worst offender, I would say, of the bunch. Like, because there's an entire movie cut that people prefer. You know what I mean? That like was fan edited to the actual show. And even Ahsoka, like, which I think has some like of those same issues that like the Disney Plus shows quite get, but less so. Like, there's gonna be so much more content, like I think runtime on Ahsoka than this.
Yeah.
Like if I remember correctly.
So what I'm saying though is if we restructured a little bit, combine the 2 episodes, and then you leave us 2 final episodes where we're getting a way to tie up those loose ends, because and correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is a one season show.
I think they said
That's not true.
That's why I said correct me if I'm wrong.
They said like they're leaving it with like the potential that like it will be at a place where you could like just end it.
So,
but it's also like leaves room that like if you
want to continue
Jordan, say what you're gonna say, and then I'm gonna play off of exactly what you just said.
So all I'm saying is I just think the structure. This is why it wasn't one of my favorite episodes. I enjoyed parts of this episode. I thought the abilities that we get to see and stuff like that is cool. But I just feel like if you merged 3 and 7, you would have been fine.
I mean, you're wrong with that, but
I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Well, shock there.
I disagree. I think it is necessary. It is 100% necessary to show both perspectives of things. We have to see how the Jedi interpret everything that's going on and how they come to figure out, like, how they come to figure out the situation with Osha and May. But we also, May and Osha are the main characters. So you need to actually have an entire episode to build their relationship. It's absolutely necessary the way that they did that. I will play off of the point that there are... the ending of the show. I think, personally, that, and I would be perfectly okay with this, the show is going to end with some of the loose ends that we're trying to figure out right now not being tied up, because it will be left open for a season 2. The problem is the toxic fucking fans are going to get this show canceled and we'll never know what happens to it.
I disagree.
So, but they've already said that this show ties up. They've already I know
I hope
really
so
focused on
because
the
I
outside
will
of
be.
it,
I
so,
will
but-
be. I mean, I love this show and it's art. Here's some controversial opinions for you. This is my second favorite Disney Plus show that we've gotten from Star Wars.
I like that this show is. I don't know if it's my second favorite, but I think this show is more. I think it's more ambitious.
I
than a lot of
think
other shit that they've tried to produce.
just my personal opinion. I think the writing, I think the acting, I think the action, I think the visual effects. I think that this show is like up there with Ahsoka, and those are my top two, and then Andor after that, and then whatever. But I do feel that. The writing in this show is really, really, really good. And I would be extremely pleased if this show ended with an open ending where we don't know the answers to everything. Because they do that a lot with shows that go on
I'm not
for a
gonna
long time.
lie.
Like take, well, wait a sec. Like, take Game of Thrones, for example. Game of Thrones is 8 seasons long. And there are some seasons that end on complete fucking cliffhangers and you have to wait. Like, you just have to wait. I like the anticipation of that. I like the feeling of that. I like how that leads the audience to, like, want more. And I have a feeling that this show, because it's actually written well, will do something like that. My problem is that I think I hate to say this, but I really think this show's going to get canceled.
I don't
and
think
it really
so.
bothers me.
The viewership over the since episode 4 has gone up
I
dramatically.
hope so.
The show is. They've already said this show has had better viewership than previous. They said
Okay,
They
great.
said better viewership than Ahsoka.
I hope that this
Like,
show
from what
comes
I
back
read.
for another season,
So-
and I would
And
be
Ahsoka's
okay
getting
if we don't get
so.
like I don't need an answer as to where Chimera's from at the
I
end.
actually
of next
don't think
episode.
this show needs a season 2, and I like this show, but I honestly don't think.
I just
Like
wanna
this
know
era
if
is this era is fine. It's been cool.
I don't think he's
but I
fine
don't
for
think necessarily there's like that much meat here. If I'm being honest.
No, but I
think
they
there are
think they
there,
could
like,
expand on.
Like, and I do like this show, but like it's weird. Like it's so many of my opinions on the Star Wars shows. Like this was cool, but like I just feel like there was something more. And even like a season 2 of Acolyte, like. Which it's weird though, because I do like this show and I like a character like Chimera, a character I really have like grown to like really like.
Go Blake Bortles.
But I don't think anyone's like getting like I don't think Soul is surviving next episode. Like
I don't think so either.
So like
Maybe.
I don't think one of Mayor Osha is surviving.
And
next
again,
episode.
I'll make the same point that I made in the last episode. The show is so well written because you don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, what?
I love that.
I would also.
It
like to
leaves
just talk
me
about the episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, but in terms of like, there's so many different things. Soul killing.
Soul killed the mother.
The mother Anastasia was like.
That was heartbreaking.
I wasn't expecting it to be him.
Well, I thought he killed Coral. I didn't think he killed her. I just kind of was one of those.
She looks him dead in the face. She's like, "Bro, I was gonna let her go with you. Like, why?"
I would also really like to talk about what was Mother Anastasia going to do to May.
I think she was just taking her.
I think she was just taking her away. I don't know if she was like.
Because that's just like we've only ever
But
seen
I think
that as, like,
also
transport,
he's also. I think for Soul, like again, you can't put him completely at fault because his goal is to protect them, and he doesn't know.
He
like when
perceived it as a threat.
she does that, and he sees May disappearing in front of his eye. I think his assumption is, oh my God, she's gonna kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? So if I was him,
Yeah, I
to be
guess,
honest, I probably would have done the same thing. And that's like, you know.
Well, they kind of made it like a more of a tragedy of like misunderstanding and like communication.
And that's
even
exactly
like Torben's like
that's called good writing.
Even Torben's like because he's obviously the one that rushes over there. He only rushes over there because of like what Soul told him.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the episode, which was bullshit. Like we're
here to find the virgins.
Identity.
When we
like,
find the virgins, we can go home.
He like what's her name? Didn't like in Dara say like there's no fucking like room for convergence here.
Yeah.
Virgins here. Like, what are you talking about? We don't need to lie to him to like get to like.
I didn't know I was gonna do that.
The Kanaka fight was great.
Oh yeah, the fighting in this episode, wild. The
choreography
choreography in the show, top tier. Kelnaka flying through the air, wild.
I was even these fights do something that like a lot of like in Ahsoka.
You can't fist fight a Wookiee, motherfucker. Like, dude, you will
That
lose.
okay. The only problem I had with that fight was Kalnaka jumping through the air.
Are you kidding me?
No, actually, shut the fuck up. You're really fucking stupid. I'll let you take off. No, you're fucking stupid. Like, genuinely fucking stupid.
Have you ever played? Have you ever played Jedi Fallen Order?
This is the only show. That Disney
got
Plus
the
has
Jedi
made
movement.
where Jedi movement looks good. Okay, it's the only. I'm not even letting you get your point.
Wait.
You're
I want to hear what
literally
he
correct.
said.
This show has had the best movement, like, of Jedi, like, in anything. Like, nothing's even close.
Say what you're gonna say.
The way the Jedi
movement,
the prequels, dumb, horrible in comparison to this. Like, this is like the Clone Wars Jedi movement, which is like in everyone's brain who's seen Clone Wars, how Jedis move in their brain, right, Jack?
Yeah.
We've seen Anakin and Obi-Wan do the
in your
exact
mind,
same
you
thing.
think, like, when you think about Jedi move, you think of how, like, Anakin, Yoda, and Anakin, like, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka run around in Clone Wars. That's exactly what you think about in your brain when you're like, this is the actual Jedi. This is the only live-action property that's got anywhere close to that level. Like, even in Ahsoka, like, Ahsoka's first time when she jumps out of the cave and does that, like, nothing. It was horrible.
Are you gonna wait. Okay.
And I like Ahsoka, but that first scene when she jumps out and does
hold
this,
on. I
horrible
said
shot. Like,
Say what you gotta say.
Okay, so I said that was the one thing.
It looks.
I didn't say I had issues with the rest of it. I said the one thing.
Yeah, but you.
And the only reason
They fly now.
It's like the best wire work they've done, like, for the Jedi.
Okay.
that wire work was shit.
No, it literally wasn't.
Are you fucking
You're
dumb?
dumb as hell.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not even.
Wait. Hush your faces, children,
Say
and
what
let
you
the
say.
adult talk.
No, you're not, brother. No.
Let him say what he's
I'm
gonna
not gonna
say.
let you, like,
Wait.
cope in.
Brother,
All right. We're doing what we did in the Avatar podcast. Hold on. Go
Totally
ahead,
incorrect
Jordan.
in the slightest.
Say what you have to say.
It's like.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay.
Nobody cut him off. I want to hear what he has to say.
Kalnaka jumping, the one thing he didn't do, and this is where the wire work comes in, and why I didn't like it, he didn't actually bend his back leg to jump.
It's almost like
It's just lifted.
It's almost like he
Like,
enhances himself.
Almost
with the
as
Force.
if, like, the
it's
Force
almost like
could
Jedi
move.
don't.
Oh, give me a fucking
It's almost
break.
like when Jedi use Force jump, they're not using actual, like, physical ability.
You still have to use muscles and tension.
No, you don't.
Oh my
They
fuck.
literally.
Okay.
Count Dooku can
Wait a
fly,
second.
my
What are you
guy.
talking about? Like,
In the video games, I didn't see it.
Kyner just floated around blind and, and one did, like, weird shit to move around, like, the entirety of last
Palpatine
episode.
didn't jump. He just kind of, like, twisted and, like,
Yes, like,
punched
there's
himself.
no natural movement with Jedi jumping. Like,
I think
I'm nitpicking.
That's great. Don't nitpick actual, like, the best wire work Jedi do in years.
If
like,
it's. Let me know what you think in the comments.
I knew it was a cover-up from the moment the episode began.
Real quick, I'd like to make an argument that's really going to piss him off. Rey manages to do the same thing in episode 9.
Well, Rey fucking sucks.
I mean, there's not a single good.
That's
piece
not
of choreography.
sexist. It's just a bad movie.
No, there's not a single good piece of choreography in episode 9.
Anyway,
I love Kylo.
Anyway, it was a
Kylo
cover.
versus the Knights of Ren, and that is
All
the only kept solid. fight
It was a
in that
cover up.
episode.
It was a cover up. We knew it was a cover up.
Sorry for screaming in your ear, Rich.
Pretty obvious from the start that it was going to be a cover up. I'm surprised that it is Endora that created it, but I'm also not surprised at the same time.
Not really.
Like, she definitely is like, but I knew Soul was a good guy. I knew he was a good guy.
I don't think Soul's a good guy. Soul's like kind of the biggest offender here. Actually,
Soul's a bad guy. He killed the mom.
He killed the mom. He was the most gung ho to get the twins out.
Yeah, but his
he
intentions
fucked with
were
Torben.
good.
Actually, like he's the reason
Were
Torben
they?
did this shit.
Because
I
I
see
see
his
his
intentions
intentions.
No, but like he has the most blame.
I
one
see
way or the
Soul's
other.
intentions.
I think
selfish.
I do think his intentions are a little selfish.
They are.
But I think it's like it's coming from a place of he's coming from a place of like Anakin's standpoint.
Yeah, that's the point. That's like they're feeding into they're literally doing a microcosm of the entire prequel. That's literally what the show's been about.
Yeah,
they're
I
doing
agree.
a microcosm
And
of good
it's-
intentions leading to like
Exactly,
really bad
and I
outcomes.
don't think
like, right?
that- I
that's
don't
literally
think
what this is.
But again,
It's not very subtle. Like,
let's
not
put it
very-
this way: was Anakin a bad guy, or was he a good guy? That you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ask the thousands of children he slaughtered.
Well, yeah.
I do have a question. I want to hear your response to this because the best line in the show for me today was during the point when the mother said to them, "Someday your actions will lead to the downfall of the Jedi." I just thought that was just an incredible line.
Someday your good intentions will lead to the fall of the Jedi.
I think the destruction of all the
destruction of all the Jedi.
I thought
She
that was
knows
a
the
great
prophecy. They don't know the prophecy, but she does.
And again, that's accurate. The Jedi weren't like some people like to like in the Star Wars fandom like to have this idea where the Jedi like aren't actually like good and like were Like and there are like things we even joke about, like oh they take children and like oh they've made children like fight in war, which are like mistakes that like potentially that the Jedi made, and even like here they don't necessarily try to like. Well, I guess it's a bit more complicated here now because of all the shit that happens afterwards. But they don't necessarily like try to like they kind of give them an option, right? They kind of decide like if they were gonna let them
from
stay
George
or
Lucas's
go.
own mouth. Like the Jedi aren't necessarily the good guys and the Sith aren't necessarily the bad guys. They're just two forces with opposing ideals.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just
really well there is a thing because like there is like a level of if George Lucas has a kind of contradicted himself on this like a good number of times. So like there is like the idea with like what you're saying, but there's also like this idea, and then this is kind of where a lot of Star Wars fans get confused. Like the Jedi are like there isn't like there isn't like the dark and then the light. This is what I was kind of trying to say earlier. And then like we've just like people have labeled them as dark or light. One is actually like the dark side. And one is actually like the good side. But like the actual institution of the Jedi doesn't necessarily mean it's going to reflect like the actual like faith, which is like actually more positive. Like those two things can change. Like just like in real life, how an actual religious institution cannot like actually hold up to the values of the actual faith it has. Like that's the very purpose of like
I have a
the
good
prequel.
example of that one.
And again, a lot of Star Wars fans don't understand that nuance, that the order and then the faith are not the same thing.
So this is something I'll play on for all of the people that lost their minds about how Anakin's character was ruined. You can rest easy now knowing that May and Osho were like meant to be one personality that was split into two people.
Which is crazy.
That is wild.
They're not twins.
That's a weird
So
not twins.
they're not twins. They're literally the same.
So
person.
that's that, and this comes to that yin and yang, pictogram that we see that Kelnaka has in his,
the one in Kelnaka's thing. Yeah.
and what Mother Anastasia has on her head. May has one. I'm going to assume Osha would have had the other, which is the light and the dark, the balance. The Bendu, the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Which would have been Mother Anastasia because she's that balance. And we get the
Yeah,
Mortis style, the mother with the two daughters, the light, the dark, and the parentage.
It's just, I think the thing itself is not even any of the parentage or anything like that. It's just a crazy concept to think that, like, scientifically speaking, they are literally the exact same person. Like, how does that even work?
Talk about a good organ donor.
And again, that's like this alluding to like the higher Sith powers, which are
transport
literally like
accident,
manipulation
like,
of like life itself. So like it's kind of what they're like going to with that.
Yeah, I think it's
So the
very
girl that turns into the lost smoke monster.
Coral.
Coral.
Yeah, I don't know.
Coral.
Is she still?
That's another thing too. Like, is
she
are
still
Coral
alive?
gonna fit into
So,
that?
and that's-
Is
Well,
she
like,
is she
there's a lot
possessing
of-
somebody else now?
Well,
think she
no,
does.
that's not really a possession thing. It's a transport.
What happened to her?
It's a
I am
transport.
in the belief.
They move.
I have a theory.
I am under the impression, and it would be kind of a crappy way to kill her off, but I am under the impression that she died when they
all died.
When all of the witches
I
died.
think
Because
she
she was inside Kelnaka.
I
Like,
think-
her physical being was inside his
I
mind.
don't think that's what happened.
I did.
So
Wait. You think that
I think when she turned into smoke, she and the rest of the sisters of the coven possessed Kalnaka.
They all collectively possessed him because
I don't think the corals thing. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I don't think just due to like the actual way they shot the episode and like they ran. I'm pretty sure that she did that before Kalnaka shit happened. I think they would have made that much more clear if that was like a full on like,
But like
she would like possessing, because it's also like we already had like a form of possession that wasn't like what the form of possession that like Mother Anastasia did wasn't like I'm gonna go in your body and move you around. Like it was like I'm gonna it was getting to your brain and like
I can't remember exactly
talk to you.
I can't remember exactly what the line is, but she disappears into a cloud of smoke.
She
and
goes,
then
"You should not have
that-
brought him here."
That's just a
And
transport.
she spoke.
thing from everything we've ever heard.
But like, then why wouldn't she interact
Why
with
would
either of the
she wouldn't have
twins?
been dead then.
So this is my
I think
theory.
she's dead.
I think they would have shown that.
This is my theory.
I do think they would have shown that. I don't
Like,
know.
that does, like, yeah, like,
I
that
just
doesn't
think
make
it.
sense.
But it doesn't make sense that she wouldn't have interacted
Unless
with
if-
at least one
I
of
think
the twins.
if she was like, I think that we considering that like all the other witches were doing the same thing that Coral wasn't doing.
Okay.
Then I would
So,
assume that
could be.
no.
I mean, maybe.
Just,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I could be
probably.
wrong, but
I mean, you
like
could
it
be
doesn't.
right.
That doesn't track from like just the visuals.
Again,
that I think
another
we're given.
loose end to tie up in season 2 that won't get made. Continue, Jordan.
I think she's gone.
We're good?
I don't
We're
think she's coming back.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay.
I think she just did a Talisman thing and just went away forever.
So, here's my theory, and the theory kind of turns into well, it's not. It's a justification and a theory in the same thing. So, with Mother Anastasia dying, she was the High Priestess. At least that's the way I would interpret it. She was the leader of the coven.
She was like the Talisman of the group.
Yes, she was the leader of the coven, and she was powerful and able to take Torben and manipulate him, which she told him to kneel, and then he kneels because he wanted to go home. Like that whole forced desire thing.
Was there a result of that? Like later on in the episode.
What do you mean?
Did that affect anything Torben did later?
When she was in his mind, she was like, "You want to go home? I can sense you want to go home. I can help you get home."
We're assuming that Indara yelled. That's what, and that caused tension.
No.
And that caused
I thought it was like some Winter Soldier shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, the Manchurian
he
Candidate
implanted
shit.
it into his mind that should
Like that's what.
But that's why he jumped and reacted so quickly because he wants to go home so bad. But I think it took all of the witches with Coral to be able to do that with Kelnaka. It had to take all of them.
Yeah, he's a Jedi Master.
Because he's
And a
yes,
Wookiee.
but again, the more the Wookiee thing. But so I think she goes into Kelnaka's mind and body and possesses him through the Force.
You have to actually show these things visually.
And
I
to
will
make these
agree with
happen.
you.
And the reason,
or at least allude to them,
we don't see her anymore, and you assume that she's all dying, but this is not where I go. Is because all the witches die when she clears the mind and everything like that, because they're all trying to consume Kalnaka, and I think it was like a, hey, we're all in his mind, kind of thing. But I don't think she's gone as much as she was attached to Kalnaka, and then now she's in May, or she's with May at the point where now that's how she'll live, is she goes and attaches herself through May.
I'll counter. Maybe when the witches were cut off, they flopped dead because their consciousnesses were no longer attached to their body. And that's why Kalnaka was sent off planet, and that's why in his hut he kept drawing witches' symbols.
Ooh, interesting. That would be awesome.
I will say, okay, so
kind of like a multi-personality.
Okay, do we think
Or
Kalnaka's
like
thing?
he just he was able to whatever Indara did kept them at bay, but they kept coming up.
Do we think the Kalnaka thing is the same as the Anastasia thing that she is Torben? Is it actually fully going through it?
Oh, 100%. I mean, his eyes were
then
black.
Then it could
and
just
everything.
be like a broke his brain type situation where the rest of his life he's just he secludes himself and is now just writing through it. Because that sounds cool, and I did forget that he has all these weird symbols and shit around his little the ship that he's in. But I just don't see how I don't think Kalnaka's coming back into the story. I don't think I don't see how that's gonna come back.
I'm not saying he's coming
I guess it
back.
could just be a subtle detail.
Yeah.
No,
But it would explain
come
why
back,
where
come
Coral
back to
went,
life,
why we don't see anybody after.
I mean, Torben and Kalnaka's decisions of what they both retrospectively did make sense.
Well,
Quite a bit of sense after this
Kalnaka
episode.
got sent. Torben was self-induced.
Did Kalnaka was sent?
Yeah,
he was sent off planet for a mission.
Yeah,
and then he just stayed.
In episode 5, they were you're going into the outer rim to get away from everything. Mm-hmm. And then in episode 6, Vanessa was call Kalnaka back immediately. We're disbanding that because she knows something.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot more to it. This is kind of why it was not my favorite episode in regards to how things are playing out, because we do have so many loose ends. That, again, you said we'll get tied up.
Yeah, I wish there were more loose ends. I wish there were a couple more answers. I can agree with that because I think it's setting up the episode. It's setting up the last episode to do a lot.
But
So,
that's good.
No, it's not. Like because I don't. Because again, they've already said like behind the scenes that no, this show is going to wrap up with a pretty nice little bow on it. Not in a way like which means no cliffhanger. There's a difference. There's a difference between cliffhanger
Or
and
it
the
could
room.
just
There's
mean that like one person, like the story.
Sure,
of,
but there's a
like,
difference.
Ocean May ends.
But there's a difference between what we got in Ahsoka, which is a literal cliffhanger, versus setting up, versus Obi-Wan, which is setting up the show in a place where that entire story is done and dusted, or like as a bow in it. But there is still room for like a new story with some of the characters to come out of it. Those are like separate things.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see.
And I think they've alluded that the more of an Obi-Wan approach is kind of how this show is being wrapped up.
Well, we'll
I know
have
that
to see.
I'm the only one who really looks at the behind-the-scenes stuff a lot of the time.
No, I
love
get it.
BTS.
No, I mean like the interviews with the,
Alright.
because I bring this stuff up a lot.
So real quick, final thoughts, Jack.
Great episode. I'm excited for the season finale.
Julian, final thoughts.
This was a fantastic episode. I don't understand how anybody could not like this episode, especially Kalnaka jumping. They got the Jedi movement right.
You're high. Christian?
Really liked the episode. Overall structural stuff about like all the show, but for the most part, I liked everything, and this episode was third favorite. Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you for watching with us. Remember, we are not a market substitute. Go watch on Disney Plus. Also, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. We greatly appreciate your continued support, and thank you for watching. May the Force be with you.
Bye.